Welcome back to the Tul World Plus weekly episode. Now, before we get this video started, if you'd like to support us in our Tul World Plus journey, we have an extensive library of techniques for patterns, theory, stances, all broken up by each pattern. So you can use the free discount code below with the link, and let's go ahead and get started with the video. Now this week we're going to be covering the different waves that we have. So we have sine wave, sawtooth wave, and horizontal wave. So let's jump into it.
The three different waves, as Mr. G was mentioning, we have sine wave, sawtooth wave, and horizontal wave. Now let's go over and see exactly what we're talking about. Now Mr. G is going to step forward and he's going to execute a right walking stance, and it could be any stance, but in this case we're going to use the walking stance. It kind of helps define, or it really shows these different ideas. So he's going to demonstrate sine wave. Ready? Go. And back. All right, so it's actually fairly subtle, but when you move forward, as he moves forward, he's going to relax. He's going to bring his feet about half the distance of the stance, and he kind of comes up, but the knees are always going to stay slightly bent. So you'll notice, go back to that last position there, his position is here, and as he steps forward, it goes up. So it's kind of gone up. His knees are still bent, and then he steps forward and he punches, and he goes back to the original height. That's what we call the sine wave. Now, paro, let's go back again. Now let's take a look at the sawtooth wave. In the sawtooth wave, very similar to the sine wave, the height of his head is here. As he steps forward, he's going to straighten out his legs, and it might be foot to foot, straight up. Now he's standing straight up like an attention stance, and then he steps back into the walking stance. So he goes straight up and he goes straight down. Paro, let's take a look at that in real time there, Mr. Ju. Ready? Go! The point is that when you reach the peak of the wave, the legs are straight, very much like a digital wave where it's just plus and zeros. Now, horizontal wave, let's demonstrate that. Let's go back into that. We're stepping forward into the walking stance, and he's going to do what we call a horizontal wave. Ready? Go! What is that? The top of his head is going to stay level. So in order to do that, as he steps forward, his knees are going to be bent. He never straightens out that front leg. He's got to maintain that same height as he moves forward. Go, and then steps forward and executes the technique. This is what we call horizontal wave. Paro. Now, there are times when we might need to do that, or there are actual other martial arts that train specifically like that. But from an ITF point of view, we always think of it as how would you move naturally? And so the sine wave is really the way we normally would move. So in other words, if I'm walking, just walking forward, there's always this kind of a dip and an up and down. But it's not a lot because you're not bending that knee very much as we're walking. But in Taekwondo, we're always in a stance. So when we move forward, we see a more dramatic up and down movement. It's not a lot though, because when you move forward, the knees are still going to be slightly bent, probably not more than 30 degrees. That was a basic idea of sine wave, and we can also have the same theory apply to stances when you're not moving. For instance, if you're in a sitting stance, if Mr. Ju is in a sitting stance, the sine wave would be, he would go down, up, and down, but he does not lock out the knee. That's what we would call sawtooth wave. And so the knee is only bending. And we don't want to bend it too much. It's only very small because it's the natural way we would move. Now, if we were doing the sawtooth wave, he would go maybe down, up, and then down. And then obviously the horizontal wave would there be no leg movement. It's just straight out, just a hand technique. So again, let's demonstrate the sine wave. Go. Sawtooth wave, go. Horizontal wave, and paro. So those are the basic three ideas on the waving motion: sine wave, sawtooth wave, and horizontal wave.
Thanks for jumping into our free episode of Tul World Plus. As always, don't forget to be safe.
Keep training.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Taekwondo.